I used to think that I had to run my business like everyone else, book sessions at all hours, stack meetings back to back, push through long days, and be productive in a neurotypical way. But the truth? That just doesn't work for me. When I was working in corporate, I didn't realize I needed accommodations until after I quit that job. Before, I was constantly in back-to-back meetings, training people, answering questions, all via email, instant messenger, phone, and even pager. Yes, I had a pager. I felt exhausted at the end of every day, but I thought that was normal. I didn't realize that my exhaustion and my need for complete silence after work were signs that I was on the edge of burnout. Or, let's be real, fully in burnout. I was emotionally numb and suppressing so much. Not good at all. So when I quit that corporate job, my body was like, whoa, this is so much better. It took time to recharge and recover, but once I did, I decided to move at a slower pace. Not because I thought I was neurodivergent, that realization came later, but because I felt so much better, not scheduling meetings back to back, not planning a million big events in one day, and actually giving myself space to breathe. And today, I'm sharing exactly how I accommodate myself and how you can too. Welcome to Just What I Needed, the podcast where we dive into the tools, ideas, and stories to help you level up your life and business, exactly when you need it. I'm Monica, photographer, entrepreneur, and self-proclaimed systems nerd, here to share everything from mindset shifts and creative breakthroughs to the science of building smarter systems. Whether you're looking to turn your failures into fuel, reframe life's challenges, or geek out on tools like Airtable, this is your space to explore it all. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's make today the day you hear just what you needed. Before we dive in, take a second to think. When was the last time you felt completely drained in your business? What was happening? What felt overwhelming? Keep that in mind as we go through these accommodations, and let's see if we can find ways to ease that burden. Let's start with some of the ways I've personally adapted my business to work for me instead of against me. Only offering morning photo sessions. If I schedule an evening session, I spend the entire day in paralysis and anxiety. So I just don't do that to myself. I found that I waste the entire day. I don't do anything else because I'm scared I'm going to hyperfixate and not actually go to the photo session. So I don't do that to myself. Now I just have the photo session in the morning and I have that whole rest of the day to get things done or just relax if I want to. Only scheduling one peopling event a day. What I mean by peopling is like in-person events, like in-person hanging out with a friend or going to an event. Social exhaustion is very real, and spacing out interactions keeps my energy steady. Scheduling downtime between meetings. I pad my schedule so I don't feel rushed or overwhelmed. I do spend a lot of time prepping for meetings, even though I don't really need to, but I feel that anxiety right before a phone call, right? So I do pad some time for myself to wind down after those calls and allow myself time to prep and also try to regulate my system before I jump on a call. I use flexible start and end times. Rigid schedules just do not work for me, so I allow buffer times for transitions throughout my day when it comes to tasks. Noise-canceling headphones have been a game changer. I also picked up some loop engage earplugs that I also love. It helps me focus so much. Blocking out that background noise helps me focus and avoid sensory overload. Sometimes just like hearing my dog walk around or like things outside can be very distracting. So it's really nice to have these, like I'm wearing them right now. I have my Sony noise canceling headphones on, and they are so nice because I don't hear anything that's going on and I can just sit down and focus and get the work done that I'd planned to sit down and do. I have fidget toys at my desk, so movement helps with my focus. So I like to keep things, my favorite is a cleaning toy that I found at a dog toy store. It's like this little like rubbery cleaning tool. I have like those kind of toys, right? So like whatever makes you happiest. I have like all these sensory fidget toys at my desk, a variety of them, but my favorite happens to be this rubbery little cleaning toy. So play around with that and try keeping some of those at your desk and just see what happens. Another way that I accommodate myself is wearing comfy clothes. This has been a big change for me. When I was working in corporate, I was always wearing like those very uncomfortable office clothes that looked really nice, but they were very uncomfortable. So I now wear loose, stretchy clothing that reduces sensory discomfort and allows me to focus, right? Like I'm not pulling on my shirt, trying to loosen it. Like I can just sit down, I'm comfortable, and I can just sit down and focus. Another way I accommodate myself is either by meal prepping and having my meals ready and knowing like what I'm going to eat before I need to eat, or I have my partner make the meal for me. And that is a support need, right? Decision fatigue is huge. I really struggle with that. And especially when I'm working and I'm really focused and then needing to take a break in transition and go into creating a meal, that really fatigues me and I will get overwhelmed with all the options and ideas. And it usually gets to a point where I'm just like, I'm just not going to eat, right? Which is not good for my brain. So having meals prepped and ready to go makes things so much easier. Or if you were lucky like I am, asking your partner to help you with that decision and making the meal for you. I only offer 2 consult calls a day for my photo sessions, and I only offer those 2 days a week. I have found that if I do 3 consult calls in a day, I get that buzzy, numb, unregulated feeling like I did in corporate when I worked in a corporate job. So I have accommodated myself and recognize I only like to do 2 phone calls a day and just do those 2 days a week. And adding on to that, I don't do phone calls on photo session days. It helps me stay present and it really gives the best for my clients, right? Like that's how you get me at 100% is by limiting how many interactions I have in a day. I want to make sure that I'm giving my clients my best self and giving them 100%. So that is how I accommodate myself to make sure I'm providing a good experience for my clients. Giving myself permission to nap after events. Oh my gosh, here's a quick example. We're in Arizona in Phoenix, so we went to the Dodgers spring training and we were there for about 2.5 hours and we just wandered around the fields, right? And there were quite a few people there. There's just like lots of noises, lots of smells and noises and excitement and all of that. And I thought I would come home and just be like, yeah, cool, I'm going to work now. I'm going to feel great, right? Because I was outside and it was lovely. It was a really great time. But I was so exhausted because like people were chatting with me. They're just being friendly, right? Like other fans were just chatting and being very nice and social. And I was being social back. Obviously, I'm not rude. But it was exhausting. When I got home, I got home and I took like a 2-hour nap. And that is a thing that I've stopped making myself feel guilty over, is taking naps after social interactions, big events, even just like going out. Sometimes even just going to the library will make me tired and I'll just come home and take a nap. So giving myself permission to do that is an accommodation, right? And then finally, we like to do a midday reset. And what that is let's say my morning routine has gone off the rails, right? Like things are not going well. I haven't followed my routine and I'm feeling overstimulated, unregulated, all the things, right? Usually it's my partner that will point this out and he'll be like, you need a midday reset. So midday reset is basically like starting your day over. So like whether that means hopping in the shower and starting from, the very beginning of your day, do a little midday reset with your routines. And that helps me a lot, kind of like helps regulate and reset the day. So then you're not feeling so dysregulated and missing your morning routine. You can just start over and get back on track. It's totally fine. I recently switched scheduling systems and the system allowed for 3 clients to schedule a consult call in one day. Again, my maximum is 2 in one day. And I decided to not move anyone. And I was like, okay, I can do this, right? I used to take 50 plus phone calls a day with angry customers in my corporate jobs. I can handle 3 calls with lovely clients who want to talk about how amazing their dogs are. Well, after the 3rd call, while lovely and perfect, I was completely exhausted and felt numb. It was a good reminder that my current accommodations of 2 phone calls a day max is perfect for me and to protect my energy level. Now, let's talk about you. Every neurodivergent brain is different, but here are some general accommodations that might make your business life a whole lot easier. Accommodate and delegate. Executive dysfunction makes task switching hard. Automating things like if you can automate your emails, your invoices, and your social media, that can save so much mental energy. So I like to spend like 1 day a week and where I make all my social media posts and content and just schedule it out. And that's like automating it in a sense. And then it's done. Don't have to worry about it. If you can, outsourcing admin tasks can be a game changer. You can try body doubling. Working alongside someone, even virtually, can make tasks easier. Having an accountability buddy can also help you stay on track. Using visual timers. Time blindness is so real. Using timers and breaking tasks into smaller chunks can help make them more manageable. I personally have a timer. It's like a kitchen cooking timer on my desk. And it has like all these different times. It has like 3 minutes, 5, 15, like you get it. It's got all these times. I use that every day. Especially if I want to challenge myself, like photo editing, I'm like, okay, how quickly can I try to edit these photos? I'll set a timer and see how much I can get done in that time. Task batching. Instead of constantly switching gears, group similar tasks together. This reduces mental exhaustion and keeps momentum going. Permission to pivot. What works for you might not work in 6 months. Adjust as needed without guilt. And this has been one of my favorites. I'm not sure what the official term for this is called, but I like to call it get the ball rolling. So many neurotypicals say do the hardest task first thing in the morning, right? Right when you're starting your day. But for neurodiverse brains, it's better to start with easy tasks to build momentum before diving into the big ones, the hard ones. So I will do, first thing in the morning, I will do a whole bunch of quick, easy tasks that I know I can get done really quickly. And then that gets some momentum going and gets me in a flow where I can then easily tackle the big items on my list. The best part about running your own business, you get to make the rules. You don't have to push through systems that don't work for you. You don't have to fight your brain every day. You can create a workflow, a schedule, and a structure that actually supports you. Because when you thrive, your business thrives. So here's what I want you to do. Take a second to jot down one thing that you can change this week to better accommodate yourself. And if you need ideas or support, DM me on Instagram. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. The world isn't built for neurodivergent brains, but your business can be. You are allowed to succeed your way. And when you do, the magic happens. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep going. You've got this.